So, I guess I didn't expect that coming. If you're watching the stream, by the way, which I would assume nobody is. Where was my face? And is it gonna pop up? There we go. So, howdy everyone, once again. It is me, RacerfanX. Although you know me as RacerfanX VA for my voice acting stuff, but this content is gonna be on my RacerfanX channel since it's not related to voice acting at all. So, why I showed you guys the intro to a different game is because as of right now, in 2 days, by the way, or if you're watching this on that day, it is the 5-year anniversary of being a content creator on YouTube. And it doesn't matter about what type of content that I created, whether it be voice acting stuff, comic dubs, or gaming videos. I've been on here as a content creator for 5 years now, and I think I want to be able to do something special in order to celebrate being on here for 5 years. And of course, as I explained in my last Let's Play, I was a Let's Player at first. I started doing YouTube videos, doing Let's Plays of my own. It didn't go so well. I then transitioned over to voice acting, and then I found some more success with that. And even some more fans and friends because of my transition into voice acting. And because of right now that I've gone back into Let's Playing, but only for my own personal benefit, so I decided that since 5 years is here, I decided that I'm going to go on ahead and but I'm going to do a Let's Play of the first game that I ever Let's Play here on YouTube, and that is Midnight Club Street Racing for the PS2. It's also available for the Game Boy Advance, although it came a year later for the Advance release. Developed by Angel Beats, or Angel Studios, whichever one it is, I don't remember now. But it had Angel as a developer, and published by Rockstar Games. This was the first game of an interesting franchise, to say the least. It definitely revolved around street racing illegally at around midnight, and well, I chose this game as my first Let's Play because this was basically a simple game. I'm into racing, and well, of course, my name is pretty much why I got my name in the first place, because I'm a fan of racing. But this was a simple game, nothing too long, nothing too short, but this was simple, and I thought it was a good starter. And surprisingly enough, on my old channel, when I first LP'd this, it has the most views. My Let's Play parts has the most views out of any other video that I've uploaded onto that channel. So yeah, I decided to go along with this, and of course you see the GameStop stickers on there because, you know, back when my family got me a PS2 when I was 8 years old, by the way. But yeah, Midnight Club Street Racing, I'm gonna do it, and hopefully this 5-year anniversary Let's Play is gonna be able to be a lot better than how my first Let's Play was with this game 5 years ago, because oh my god, it was so terrible. I started out with like a headset microphone, and I didn't start it the best way. I had terrible commentary. I'm pretty sure my commentary still, it's not as bad before, but it's still kind of bad. But hopefully this Let's Play now, 5 years later, will be a lot better. I was 14 years old when I started out my YouTube channel, freshman in high school, I gotta say, and now I'm a college student. I'm 19, and let's get down into it. Finally, the 5-year anniversary special will be a re-LP of course, Midnight Club Street Racing for the PS2. So without further ado, let's get going. Alright everyone, we are now at the start menu of Midnight Club Street Racing. This game came out in late 2000 for the PlayStation 2. And let us start the game. So here is our main menu right here. We have 3 options. We have arcade mode, career, and extras. I love how on the bottom of the main modes it has like very interesting descriptions for this, even though it's very short, I gotta say. So let's check out the extras real quick, because that's where the options are, or settings are. Yep. So let's take a look at some game options real quick here for the audio. We could lower up raise up higher or lower down the music. Although that only applies in-game though, so I'm not sure the in-game music's copyrighted, but unfortunately the main music is. So I guess we go. I want to see this test real quick. We're just gonna opt to wait up the sound effects and then the voices, because yes, there is some voice acting in this game. Nope, it didn't. It didn't turn off the main music, which is kind of to my disappointment, because I believe in my old Let's Play of this game, the main music was copyrighted, and I mean they weren't blocked, the videos weren't blocked, but they were copyright claimed, and so yeah, that's gonna be a problem. So I'm not sure if the in-race music is copyrighted, so we'll have to see at that. Alright, so now the controls. We have 4 different configurations we could use for this, and I'm wanting to see which one works best for me. I believe this should work best. And vibration, I'm gonna turn that off because lately now the vibration's really been a noise to me, so I'm gonna turn it off. Let's see what this playout look like. It's been a long while since I touched this game, by the way, so excuse me for taking a little while on adjusting the options here. So we're gonna have these to be the same. And arcade data. Apparently you can also load, save, and reset your arcade data since this is a first save file. We're not really gonna do anything with that. We have high scores here, which would be able to determine what times we set in each race, both in career and arcade mode, so that's gonna be nice. And also one other thing I wanted to be able to make an improvement on in this RealPS, I want to be able to go over every single detail that this game has. Because back then when I was a beginning Let's Player, I wasn't able to cover everything. So I figured that now we should be able to cover everything now, and yeah. Here's the biographies of the street racers that we got here.
Sanchez from Uptown, baby. Hold on to your seat.
Yep. And for each of these characters, they have voiceovers from voice actors that participated in the development of this game. So in the career mode, you're gonna hear a lot of them just throwing out smack talk at you. And then of course you have the credits here, but I'll record that later on, of course, for when this LP comes to an end. And of course, just like in the old Let's Play, we're gonna start off this Let's Play with doing the career mode. And before we do that, I just want to explain to everyone watching the videos, you're probably not seeing this right now because I'm only showing it to the stream, but I have a timer set in the stream so that they can be able to keep track of how long I exactly play this game and how long it would possibly take for me to you know, do a certain thing and stuff like that. And I'm also gonna adjust the computer audio in stream because it still appears to be kind of decently loud, and I think negative 13.8 decibels should be good enough. Alright everyone, so for those in the stream, we are officially gonna start. Hold on real quick, I gotta readjust the timer. So for those on the stream, we're finally gonna start our timer right now. There we go. And now, let's get down to the career mode. Of course, just as you would normally expect, you can create a new career file, you can load one up, or you can just delete it. But since we started this Let's Play, we're gonna start up a new career file. No game directory exists, which is, I would assume it's a save file, so we're gonna create one. It's gonna take a while, but like... Oh, there we go. And now, let's enter in our name. Unfortunately, when you create a name for your profile, it only adds up to a maximum of 6 characters, or 6 letters. So I'm not gonna put in my full name here, but I'm gonna go by the name of Racer because, hey, let's face it, all my friends call me Racer online, so why not? And we're gonna save this up because, you know, yeah. And here is the only car that we start out with in the game. Of course, you get to unlock more once you do complete more races, but this is the only one we start off with, which is a taxi cab. And there's a stats here for top speed, acceleration, handling, and durability, which looks good enough for a starter vehicle. And you can choose to race with an automatic or manual transmission. I'm gonna go with automatic because just even 5 years later, I still suck at using manual transmission in game, and I probably wouldn't be trusted with stick shifts in real life. So yeah. Alright, so here's the track map here. The game starts out in the setting of New York City. So this is a track map of where it is, which could look realistic, but this came from the year 2000, so most likely a lot has changed since the year 2000 came around, but this is what New York City was like back in the year of 2000. So you get to be able to ride on a highway and stuff. Unfortunately, they haven't really programmed any roads to be able to take us out of New York City, so we're stuck in this island here. But hey, that's fine. And of course, since we interact with characters in the game, you're gonna see a lot of dialogues that they say to us, starting with the first character that we saw in the biography, Emilio. Alright, so let's start out our driving.
Hey, don't get left behind. Bye-bye.
And you see what I mean? When I say that you're gonna hear these characters talk a lot, especially throwing smack talk at you. So here's how the game works in career mode. So you start out as an American taxi cab driver, and then you encounter street racers roaming around the streets, and then when you follow them, they'll notice you, and they're gonna lead you to a specific area in order to do a race. So that's what we're doing, we have to follow them. Otherwise, if we can't keep up, they're just gonna say, you know what, fuck it. They're not worth our time, let's go back to roaming around the streets. Of course, they're gonna still offer dialogue. I'm not gonna read over it, so if you want to read it, you can pause the video if you're watching this on YouTube, or you're watching the VOD on Twitch, by the way. So here's how the race works. The yellow circles are issued as checkpoints, and the green circle is the finish line. So this is what is called a waypoint race. And what we do here is that we have to get rid of all the other checkpoints in order to reach the finish line. So
Hey, yo, you're gonna learn how to race like a man.
So for this race, it's really simple enough. And in these waypoint races, you go against not just the main street racer, but also against his homeboys that's driving really base colors of the similar models that they drive. And I want to be able to see what's the button to go look back. Oh, there we go. R2 is basically the button to look back, which would be pretty beneficial to see if, you know, the racers are gonna close in on you or whatnot. But in this case, they're not closing in as much, or they're pretty much not closing in at all. So here's how the race works. So you pass the yellow checkpoints, and then get to the green checkpoint, which is finish line. So that's how the race works.
Yo, here's my number, Papo. Call me when you want to race head to head.
So of course, it is helpful if you follow the tips that the street racers give you. So yeah, there you go. Now we have some options here. We can choose to restart the race. We can cruise for some action, which basically goes back to free roam mode. We have a cell phone here, in which we have Emilio's number. We'll get to that later. Next one here, so we have an instant replay, which it is a replay, but it shows them in these kind of awful camera angles, so that's pretty much not worth our time. Or you can just leave the career mode, and whatever mode that you decide, the game automatically saves for you, since you basically made a save file on here. So that's pretty nice. In case if you just forget to save, don't worry, it saves for you. I'm gonna readjust my timer the way I see it, or live split, so that I can be able to see the chat, even though no one's probably watching right now. It's just one viewer, but that's most likely the streamer's user. Okay, so anyways, we're gonna go back to free roam mode, back to the New York City map. However, we're gonna see some new faces pop up here along the streets of New York. See, as soon as this finishes uploading.
Yo, I'm Emilio Sanchez from Uptown, baby. Hold on to your seat.
I'm Keiko Hatano, the hottie behind the wheel. I like to drive very fast.
I'm Larry Muller. They don't mess with me in Queens.
Alright, so not only do you see Emilio out on these streets, but you also get to see some other hookmen. That is the term for street racers, other street racers. That's also popped up here around New York. And I believe that from the options, the music does apply to here, so I'm probably going to turn that down just a little bit, you know, in between parts. But I'm not going to do so now because, oh god damn it, of course we're experiencing some stream that's experiencing drop frames, which I'm gonna have to try to fix in a moment. But anyways, since we're recording already, let's continue this part. So now we get access to our cell phone, which of course, as I stated earlier, we get a meter's number. But once you click,
You wanna race Emilio? Ha! You ain't got nothing I'm scared of.
yep, we offer them to do a race. Now this one is different. This is what's called a head-to-head race. It works the same way as a Waypoint, but instead you only face the racer alone. Hence it's head-to-head, so it's basically a duel. However, for the yellow checkpoints, they actually have to be passed in order rather than you could choose any checkpoint that you want to cross. Which isn't really a problem for this race because it goes in a straight line.
Looking for some good loving? You better take a good beating first.
Yeah, so this isn't really a problem for this race because the yellow checkpoints go in a straight line. So let's see here, we're only facing Emilio alone, so it's just the two of us. And yes, you can go inside buildings, although you don't go on to the higher levels unless it's under a special circumstance.
I'm the deer, baby. I'm a little foot drop right over your butt. I'm coming right behind you. I'm right behind you, Papa.
Yes, you are right behind me, but you're not gonna win because we're gonna finish our race inside what appears to be a basketball court.
I'll let you won, Papa. You know it.
Alright, so that is true. When we win this head-to-head race, we get the pink slips to their car. So, now we go back to cruise for some action, and now it's gonna ask us if we'd like to change cars first, in which we're gonna go with yes. See here. I gotta figure out some way to make sure I use this. Okay, so we're back in our garage, so we have a taxi cab here, but if we go to the next section of cars, we unlock Emilio's first ride, the Crucero Bueno. Let's see, compared to the taxi cab, it has higher acceleration, more durability, but poor handling. And in this case, for this car, we not only get to change the transmission, but we also get to change the color of this car too, which is pretty nice. Let's see, what I like to go for is that I like to paint my cars white, because white's basically my favorite color, and I feel that having a distinct color would pretty much solidify on what colors I will want to drive. So that's pretty much the point here. Okay, so we are back in our loading screen. We're gonna go back to Fremont mode in the New York City space or map right here, and just wait for, of course, the loading screen to keep up to like load more of the map. It's gonna take some time, of course. I think this takes like what, 30 seconds at most every time we try to get to the street. Yeah, or we went into a race. Alright, so here we are back in New York City, and you can use the triangle button to be able to change the camera. I just wanted to restate that. Alright, so this works the same time as the last time, except, you know, at the beginning of the game, we get thrown straight into, you know, having to follow them and all to start a race with them. However, in this case, from now on, and yes, you can knock over yeah, light poles and other areas that gets into your way. I was about to say, oh yeah, from now on, if you want to be able to do a race with somebody, you actually have to go to them directly and try to follow them yourself, and then they'll acknowledge you. As you see here, there's Emilio up ahead. As you can see, his car is purple, which would mean that he's in a different car of the same group, I would say. So yeah, there's more concealed cars than you would know. It's not just Bueno. Come on. So yeah, this yellow. You're in the distance. You just gotta wait till the arrow turns green. Like that. So yeah, if they're red, they're just roaming on the streets. If they're yellow, you're within a distance. But if they're green, that means that they acknowledge you and they're going to a specific location for us to be able to do this race. Come on. You gotta keep up with this with Emilio right here. Expect tonight to be a short stream, of course. Since apparently this is also done late night. I wasn't expecting this to be a late night. I was going to do this earlier, but I had stuff to do, so yeah. Want to be able to see who we can pose, so probably not. So yeah, we get stuck with this different dialogue that they gave us for these future waypoint ways. Now, the next waypoint ways, the map looks like this. Remember when I said earlier about going to whatever checkpoints you got? You gotta make sure that you clear all the yellow checkpoints before you get to the green checkpoint, or otherwise the finish line. In this race, however, you have to pass all the yellow checkpoints. However, there's a twist to this. You'll see what the twist is. As soon as it loads.
Hey, yo, you're gonna learn how to race like a man.
So yeah, we have him and his homeboys pointing in different directions. That's because you basically can go wherever you want in this race. And they'll just knock into the bus, knock into each other. So am I. But yeah, for this race, there's checkpoints laid out, and you have to pass all of them. But in this case, you can pass all the checkpoints in whichever way that you prefer.
Yo, what, your mama teach you to drive? Huh?
So you can go wherever you want for this race. Oh yeah, and by the way, they are cops in this game. You actually have to deal with cops on your tail. They don't appear in cruise mode for whatever reason. Freewheel mode is basically cruise mode. I just refer to it as cruise mode to stay on point with the game. But yeah, you actually have to deal with police cars chasing after you when you do these races. And of course, when I say you can pass them in any way you want, I really mean you can pass them in any way you want. But you always want to make sure you go the best way in order to win the race, which in this case, I did. Oh wow, apparently Emilio failed to finish a race. I don't know what the hell was wrong with him. And of course, the race is also healing you, and usually I like to wait to be able to see how long it takes the other homeboys to be able to finish. So yeah, we'll just wait for the other four to pass by. Although it looks like Homeboy 2 might not be able to finish in time, so let's just call up Emilio for another head-to-head race. And also, apparently Homeboy 2 finished just at the same time that I decided to call Emilio. And we're not gonna change calls because we already did, so it's kind of no point to. Right now, it's no point to do so. And let me see if I can adjust the timer to be a little bit higher since, yeah. Okay, there we go. Alright, so here's the next head-to-head race with Emilio, which has a map looking like this. So it's definitely a longer race. But how do we get to the finish line? You know, there are some shortcuts you can take that doesn't even show roads. Actually, you know, Emilio, this was your own car at first, and then I won it. Anyways, so let's see here. His car has a better. Oh, what the? I don't know what the hell that was. Apparently my monitor started to blink out for a moment.
I thought you were terrible. Bye-bye.
Yeah, sorry about that, everyone. About me pausing, but apparently my monitor wasn't showing itself, and apparently that traffic car just started to disappear. I don't know what's going on. Oh, whoa! Oh my god. I think I just screwed Emilio over from this win. Alright, so we have one odd bad thing happen, then we have another odd thing but yet good thing happen in this race. What do you know? Alright, we'll get to the finish line, but here's how you do it. You see, there are shortcuts on areas where it doesn't even show pieces of road, so don't worry. Oh, yep, there we go. One thing I find interesting about this game is that whenever you finish in a tunnel, or whenever you're in a tunnel, the noises that the game makes and the person talking basically echoes as to actually simulate it like a tunnel. So that's pretty interesting right there. And we're actually going to change cars again because we did win Emilio's second ride, which you'll see once you head to the garage. Alright, so we have this Crucio Bueno here, but look here. This is the second car, which is called the Excelente. Some Spanish memes, or Spanish words that is pretty much shown in there. Which, if you look at the stats between the Bueno and Excelente, there is better, except for the durability. So yeah. Clean it to be white again. Now, one thing I should be able to know is that for each character that you encounter in the career mode, they always have a set of 3 waypoint races and a set of 3 head-to-head races. This is just to amount for the amount of cars that they have. So yeah, if you win 3 head-to-head races, you get all 3 of the cars. And then that follows up with 3 waypoint races that they have, because you know each of those waypoint races has them being their respective car. So I think that really is a nice touch. Something that I learned when I was playing this game many times before in my childhood. That, you know, they pretty much have 3 waypoint races and 3 head-to-head races because they do them in each of their respective cars. Which I find to be, you know, a nice touch right there. Oh! And yes, they are pedestrians walking along here, so yeah. It's a good thing that the police is not gonna come out when you're in cruise mode, so you have to get to do whatever. This gives me GTA vibes, even though I have never played GTA before, so yeah. And see here, Emilio's in another new ride, which is in a different color, but also would look a little more distinctly different than the previous cars he has driven before. And whoa! Might I also add, since this game was released for the PS2 in 2000, the game has really questionable physics right here, so yep, it's gonna... The way that a car acts isn't supposed to act like that. These fixes are gonna make everything look and act very odd. And that's kind of the hilarity that I would get out of this game, is that you see the game kind of fucking up in ways that you probably have never seen them before. But one thing I'll say is that these questionable physics are really unrealistic. And that you're probably never gonna see anything like this again in today's gaming. And of course the same dialogue as before when we do the second Waypoint race, so really no point to read that. Let's see what the map looks like. Okay. This is interesting. I think I remember the way to take to win this race. That's the thing here. If this is your first time playing this game, you're gonna have to find some way to be able to get around these checkpoints in a legit and fast way. So yeah. Let's just get this race to load up. Alright, so we have Emilio along with his 4 other homeboys. And usually the way to be able to win this race is taking the way that the main character is taking too, because that's usually the best way to take it. Oh, okay. Went a little wide though. And yes, there was fog in this game. So it's made as a little bit of a challenge to be able to see. Oh, what? Wow. Can't believe that truck decided to turn left. At the same time we were crossing that road. Let's see. Oh, come on. Keynotes, don't hit those trucks. And we're doing more police in this race. So yeah, these races appear to be easy right now, but later on they're gonna be tough. I should know. I played this game several times before. Don't worry. The later races become more tougher. Okay. And there's a shortcut right here that will lead right to the finish line. And it shows on top of the corner that we're in the lead. And there we go.
What, you call that fair? I got all kinds of heat on my tail. What you got? You got nothing. Yo, Papo, you're good. Yeah, you're real good, but you ain't the best. No. You'll never take the champ. Try racing him. Huh. Find him cruising town.
Alright, so when we complete all the waypoints against a specific racer, they're gonna talk mentions that we're a good street racer, but they're also gonna mention the city champ. Yes, since we're in New York City, there was apparently a New York champ of street racing in this game. And I guess, you know, the game decided to just blow up the results right here after being idle for a while. So apparently here's the results. Don't worry, they didn't finish like I said. There's no way they would. It's just because they're trying to pull up dialogue. So yeah, there was a New York City champ in this game. And we're gonna face him later on in this Let's Play. Not in this part because there's kind of no way to. And we're gonna do Emilio's final head-to-head race. But one thing I should state is that a mistake I learned from the old Let's Play is that you should not call up Emilio right away, because apparently it creates this sort of glitch that will make the New York City champ never appear, and you're gonna be stuck in the New York City map for the rest of the career mode. So just go to your cruise for some action first, and then when you get to cruise mode, then you can call Emilio for one final race. Since you know the procedure right here, I'm just probably gonna cut it to showing me going to my cell phone and just calling Emilio, since it's pretty much the same thing that we're doing. Waiting. Okay, so after that cut, we're gonna go to our cell phone and call Emilio for one final race.
You wanna race Emilio? Ha! You ain't got nothing I'm scared of.
Alright, so Emilio's final head-to-head race. Here's what the map looks like. We get to end right in one of their parks. I gotta say. I see like a ravine or a river right there. Actually, I think the proper term says it's a lake. Yeah, it's a lake. Okay.
Now this is our car.
Alright, so here's take number 2 at this. Because remember when I said that this game is questionable physics and it affects the opponent's cars? Well, unfortunately it also affects your car as well. If you do like one small thing, it's gonna affect it greatly, and that's gonna make it act in a way that it doesn't realistically happen like that. Like in this area, I was trying to figure out where to go around because of steps, but if you go in and out, the car knocked over, so that's what cost me the one right there. Okay, so I'm a good ways away from Emilio. Actually, good distance, I should say. And one thing I forgot to also mention is that the HUD, the bottom left shows the map, bottom right shows your tachometer, your speed, and stuff like that. The top right shows the position you're at out of how many there are left. Oh yeah, you can also go into this right here. And the bottom and the top left actually is a timer. So yeah, it's a timer because for some reason it only affects head-to-head races. You always given a specific time limit toward the end of this race. Don't worry, the time limit doesn't really matter in these races, but it will matter in one particular race. I gotta say, so yeah. Now let's just leave the career mode because I really gotta fix the option to lower down the music for in-race or in-game race music. So yeah, let me just do that real quick. Audio. I think mid volume should be good enough for that. So yeah, that's the first part of Midnight Club Street Racing, everyone. And let me just stop the timer real quick at 6.03 seconds. You'll see the for those watching the videos, you'll see how long I exactly played this game for my Let's Play at the end of this Let's Play, of course. So yeah, that was a good part 1 of Midnight Club Street Racing. Stick around for the next part, and then we're gonna tackle some more street races in New York City. Yeah.